Hello everyone. Today we're going to be talking about how you can use Gale Academic OneFile to find some sources so that you can complete your papers and projects. You'll notice we've started here at CougarNet. We've clicked on our library tab. There are a couple of different ways that you can get to Gale Academic OneFile. You can either go to our databases A to Z. An entire list of the databases comes up for you. You will notice that Gale Academic OneFile actually shows up in two places. It shows over here in the A to Z list, and it also shows up over to your right under the popular databases. The other way to get to Gale OneFile is if it's part of your subject guide for your class. So let's assume we're going to have a subject guide for our class. Say we're in communications. We'll go down here into articles and we see it right here, Gale Academic OneFile. So we can go use either one of those two options to get to the database. Okay, now that we have found our database, we've gone ahead and clicked into our Gale Academic OneFile, and this is the home screen. You will notice that there is a basic search bar right here. We do recommend, though, that our students go ahead and click on Advanced Search so that it gets you to this slightly more complicated screen. Basically, your goal as a researcher is to get as few results as possible every time you run a search. And by going through the Advanced screen, you go ahead and start limiting the results you're going to get. So you're just going to go to this first bar and you're going to put your search term in, and then you're going to scroll down a little bit, and you will see that there's a box here that you can limit this by peer-reviewed journals. You do need to check your assignment. There are some assignments out there that require that all of your sources or that some of your sources be peer-reviewed. And if that's the case, this is the box you're going to click. If not, you don't necessarily have to. We're also going to limit this by date. The way that Gale does their dates is a little bit different than some of the other search engines. We're just going to tell it we want it after a certain date. We do have to actually fill in all three of those boxes, but we're just going to tell it we want it after January 1 of 2010. You can also tell it you want something before a particular date or between a particular date. The other thing you want to look at is possibly narrowing down by document type. Normally we just click article, but there's a lot of other options out there for you. We're just going to leave that on article now though, and we'll go ahead and X out of that. And then we're just going to run our search. So here we have the results of our search. All of these items fit the search that we put in. We can see that we have almost 4,000 academic journals articles, and we have 9 newspaper articles. We're going to go ahead and stick with these journal articles for right now, but if we wanted to see our newspaper articles, then we just have to click that button up there. You'll also see that these are all the ways we've already limited our search. If, for instance, this search had only returned a few results, then we could actually go ahead and X out of those, and our results would actually increase, and we could see if any of that stuff would help us. If we had run this result and we had, say, over 20,000 results, then we can actually come over here to the right and see if any of these options would help us narrow that down. Most of the time it's going to be within a subject. Let's go ahead and just click into one of these. So this is what one of our items actually looks like. You'll see right here is your title, followed by the authors and the date that the item was published in. Here where it says from, that's the journal that the item was published in, and this is the publisher of that journal. Again, we had told it just articles, so the document type would read article. If, however, we clicked into our newspaper, that would say newspaper. We do want to make a note of this, what it's a DOI right here. That's going to become important when we get ready to make our citations. And speaking of citations, we can actually go to the top here and click on the Cite button. We call these a starter citation. So this is a good way for you guys to go out and copy and paste this. And you can use this, but you do need to make sure that you're double checking that this is in the correct citation style, that the computer has formulated this citation correctly. For instance, if you look at the tail end of this, it gives you a link for Gale. The reason that I had pointed out the DOI here, if that DOI is present, you're actually going to want to put that DOI number where it says link Gale right here. So that's just a good reason. It's a good place to start your citation, but just make sure you're double checking it. You'll also see a lot of places on this screen where you can save your item once you found it. We have send, download, and print up here at the top next to cite. And then down here we have where you can save it to your Google Drive, your OneDrive. You can email it, download it, or print it.
So you do want to make sure that you're saving your item. It's going to save you a lot of time and energy in the long run. Over here to the left, there's a few things I want to point out to you. The first is the translate option because Gale gives you the article in an HTML format. It can also give you a translation of that article. So if English isn't your first language, or if you find an article in, say, German, then Gale is going to translate that article for you into your preferred language. You can also get the text to decrease in size or to increase in size. Gail will also read the article to you so that you can listen to it if that's how you learn better. Over here to the right, we have a few things we're going to point out very quickly. We've got the more like this and related subjects. These are all links that Gail has given you because you found this particular article and it works for you. So these are other articles or other subjects that you can click on. They're going to be the same as like what you already found. As you're reading your article, make sure that you're taking a look at the in-text citations just so that you can make sure that your in-text citations look the same. And along the same lines, if we scroll all the way to the bottom, this is our reference page for this article. You can take a look at these and of the article citations just to make sure that yours look like that as well. These citations are also a good place to look for more information if you need more articles for your assignment. If you scroll all the way to the bottom, you'll also see the more like this links again. So if you get involved in your article, that's another place to find it that may be a little bit closer than the top of the article. You also have your citations again. So you can find your starter citation at the bottom as well. So that's a basic introduction to Gale Academic OneFile Database. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact the library and we will be more than happy to help you find either your articles or to help you navigate the database.